One of the most taken out of context verses in scripture is Philippians 4. I'm sharing this with y'all because I'm teaching on prayer tomorrow, and somebody way smarter than me is helping me write my message, and we cut this part out. So I'm sharing it here. But one of the most taken out of context verses is Philippians 4, verse 13. I can do all this through him, Jesus, who gives me strength. Yeah, and I think it's interesting because, this actually was a very encouraging letter that Paul wrote from jail, actually. It was a letter. I'm going to go over here because my man's watching HGTV. She getting mad at me. But it was a very encouraging letter that he wrote. But, right before that, keeping every verse in context always in Scripture, he says, starting in verse 11, I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know, verse 12, what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, well fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. And right before that, he was talking about praying to God in everything, in thankfulness, and actually coming to God to be to have our hearts and our minds solidified in the peace of Jesus. And that was the secret of not having the pride that comes with, in our good times, of thinking that, we've accomplished all on our own. And that also keeps us from the despair of, again, thinking that we're in it all on our own once again. And so, again, as it can be a very encouraging verse, definitely keeping it in context, we see a more full picture of what Paul was communicating about God and about the peace of God that we find in every situation in prayer. And so I say all that to say, pray to God. It's really important in everything.